bienvenue au 44e épisode de Mo Money, la mission d'investissement in the economy pour des millennials. Our goal is to educate, entertain, and empower a new generation of investors. I am, of course, the host, the great and powerful MC Mo. Let's get this show on the road. Now, after weeks of speculation on Obamacare, you know, that universal healthcare program, the disaster that Trump knew it was, that you knew it was, that we all knew that it was. Well, its replacement has finally arrived. Say goodbye to the ACA and hello to the AHCA. I'm not sure if the Republicans who came up with that were too stupid to realize how similar it was to Obama's, or they just really wanted to confuse people. It's like that interview Vanilla Ice did about his sampling of that Queen and David Bowie song, Under Pressure, and his Ice Ice Baby. Theirs goes dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Ours goes dun 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 dun. Not the same. There you have the ACA and the AHCA. The American Health Care Act, aka Ryan Care, named after Paul Ryan, or the one the White House doesn't want you to use because they know it's going to be a disaster and they don't want the name to be synonymous with failure, but thus became the most popular term. Trumpcare is the Republicans' attempt at a healthcare plan for America, which is weird because having the government pay for something is not exactly a very Republican thing. But here we are, living in very strange times where Republicans do something un-Republican because they know if they don't, they'll lose their comfy job. A lot of people, including Republican Rand Paul, are not happy with the Republican bill and the fact that it was being written in privacy. Paul has called it Obamacare Light, which I find absolutely insulting to light beers. I mean, Bud Light Lime, great. Heineken Light, delectable. Miller Light, still pretty good. This healthcare plan, not so much. He and others have called for just a clean repeal of Obamacare, and that's it. Just repeal it completely and don't try to put anything in its place. But for the millions of Americans who became insured finally under Obamacare, many of whom are constituents of Republicans and have heard the backlash at town halls, well, those who have the actual cojones to actually show up, heard the anger from the people that they better not take away their health care, so the Republicans offered up their version of a universal health care system. Their remix, if you will. But whatever, let's get down to our favorite thing in the entire world, a Mo Money Showdown. Trumpcare versus Obamacare. Which plan will save the world tonight? Now, just a little disclaimer, as I've learned and relearned countless times, it's nearly impossible to talk about the costs and economics of healthcare without sounding like the worst, most uncaring, demonic, sadistic person to ever walk the earth. But because I'm used to it, and the point of this show is to talk about things like this without emotion, in the words of Alan Jackson, I'll be the bad guy, because you'll need people like me, so you can go around pointing your fucking fingers and saying, that's the bad guy. Me? I always tell the truth, even when I'm lying. Huh? Save your applause. Save your applause. Any talent agents out there blown away by my amazing monologue from Scarface that gave them chills? My contact info is in the bio beneath. So let's just go ahead and rip the band-aid off and discuss one of the most sensitive topics, pre-existing conditions. Before Obamacare, it was nearly impossible for people with pre-existing conditions to get health insurance affordable, if they're even able to get it at all. Getting health insurance with a pre-existing condition is like trying to get homeowners insurance on a house that's on fire. Insurance companies' goal is to insure things that they think will probably never happen. The higher the chance of it happening, the more expensive the premium that you will pay for that insurance. The same reason it's more expensive to buy life insurance at 78 years old than it is to buy it at 35 years old. Obamacare made it a law that all insurance companies had to cover everyone for similar prices. Before this, states used risk pools, which were a disaster. So with this law, insurance companies were prevented from doing what insurance companies all do, hedging their bets. Trump, or Ryan's plan, I don't really know who wrote it, says it'll keep that clause, but may allow them to charge slightly higher premiums. How much is slightly? I guess we'll see. Next, now think of insurance companies like Scrooge McDuck. They're all just swimming in a big pool of gold coins. Now, when they have to cover the expenses of these new people with pre-existing conditions, along with the poor and the old, that pool level of gold coins starts to be drained lower and lower until you gotta slap a no diving area sign on the wall. So insurance companies need safe bet money. Customers they know won't get sick. Well, here's the thing. The people insurance companies know don't need healthcare, they also know that they don't need healthcare. So Obama imposed an individual mandate, or the euphemism, the shared responsibility payment, which sounds totes nicer, like fuzzy and warm, instead of what it really is, which is buy insurance because we're making you, or you're gonna pay the fucking price. This mandate was Obamacare insurance, that the pool of gold coins would not be drained because no young and or healthy people were not joining the pool. Here's the problem. It was still more lucrative not to buy the insurance. Didn't buy insurance, you had to pay a fine. The fine was $695 per person, or 2.5% of your annual salary, whichever was higher. Here's the stupid part. Average health insurance costs around $380,000 yearly. So the mandate was stupid because either you paid $380,000 a year for insurance, or you didn't. If you stayed healthy and you had to pay the maximum fine amount, which was $2,085, you still saved yourself about $1,800. Good job. But some people still did, because some people are good people who wanted to help people, so they bought insurance. Still, with all the other customers getting sick, the costs rose, thus raising costs for healthy people with plans, so they just said fuck it. They left. Why pay for something that you don't really need? Insurance companies did the same. Trumpcare gets rid of the mandate, but stipulates that insurance companies can upcharge as much as 30% to those who have gone as little as 2 months without health insurance, which is pretty much the same thing. People aren't going to join with that threat. Not that people should feel threatened to pay for anything at all. So now we have rising costs on insurance companies. No new money coming in. So how exactly is all of this going to be funded? Well, Obamacare was largely paid for by taxes, both new and old. Like a 3.8% tax on capital gains, Medicare tax, the Cadillac tax, etc. And those taxes were not even enough to cover the system as it was. So what is Trumpcare going to do to fund it? Their great idea is to repeal all of these taxes that Obamacare had put in place. I'm not a big fan of Obamacare, but at least they had an idea of how to pay for it. Trump and his people have absolutely no idea. The way to fund government programs is by taxing. Cutting taxes is not going to help. He says that the AHCA will increase competition and lower prices so they can cut taxes, but I'm going to go ahead and say that's bullshit. Cutting these taxes is only going to help the rich. The less money there is in Trumpcare, the higher the premiums, making them less affordable, leaving people uninsured. 24 million people are predicted to become uninsured under Trumpcare. That's more than the amount of people that died in World War I. If every person who goes uninsured under Trumpcare gets a terminal illness, we'll have World War I bodies just lying all over the place. Everywhere. Now, I'm sure you all remember episode 29
of Mo Money,
titled Fuck Free Healthcare. The point of that episode was to advocate for a healthcare system that allows more free market forces, which are quicker and more efficient than those of government. Trump's plan attempts to open up the market to some free market forces, which could in fact lower prices. One of the reforms would be to allow insurance companies to offer plans across state lines. Currently, most insurance companies offer insurance in just one state, which means there is little to no competition within that state. And as we all know, that leads to higher prices and fewer options for consumers. Trump wants to make it easier for insurance companies to offer plans in other states and lower the cost for consumers. Another move towards the free market, Trump would like to allow Americans the ability to buy foreign medicines. This will again increase competition in the monopoly world of pharmaceuticals and make it more affordable for Americans to have access to the medications that they need. Finally, like Obama, Trump has also called for an increase in price transparency in the healthcare market. If consumers can more readily see the prices for insurance, care, medications, they will be able to shop around and save money, which is good. Bottom line, both of these plans really fail as healthcare systems. Obamacare did a good job of getting people insured. It did not insure as many people as they thought it would, but one more insured person is better than none. It also made it affordable for the most part. But the problem with it is expensive beyond what they imagined for the government. It's easy to predict costs of your business within a certain number. It's much harder to predict and control the cost for an entire sector. You have insurance companies, hospitals, pharmaceuticals, the taxpayers, etc. It's a whole ecosystem that's hard to control by just one master plan. Then, on the other hand, you have Trumpcare, which fails on just about every front. It decreases the amount of people who are insured, which is awful. And on top of that, it has no way of paying for itself. And on top of that, it's the least thought out plan that I've ever read. It doesn't take into account the differences in salaries between the rich and poor, the old and young, the differences in costs between those who live in New York City and those who live in Montana. Obamacare is a healthcare system that fails with morals. Trumpcare just fails everyone, but the rich, who never really needed this in the first place. We as Americans, as the best country on earth, deserve our good health. We deserve to live longer than our parents. We deserve to be taken care of. These plans have failed us, but as Americans, we'll just try again. Thank you so much for watching another episode. You know you can find all new and classic episodes of Mo Money right here on our YouTube page. For now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Like me on Facebook. Keep your eyes open for themomoneyshow.com.
Mo Money, signing down.
Best thing in life is free, but you can give it to the birds and bees. I need some money. Need some money.